off my reader because I can't see my own book. My book is called When Love Leads You Home. I co-wrote it with Carla Rossi, who's here today, but she's gracious enough to give me this moment, so it's very nice of her. The story is about JC. She is a collegiate gymnastics coach who's been kicked out of the gymnastics world because of a student injury. She's facing a lawsuit, and she's kind of broken homeless, and finds out she has inherited half a bed and breakfast from an aunt she didn't know about. So she goes to Cardinal Point, Texas to check out the B&B and hopefully sell it and make some money. She encounters Cole Boudreau, who is the other half of the owner of the half of the bed and breakfast. Cole is an Army veteran that has suffered a almost complete hearing loss in the Afghanistan war. And what I'm about to read right now is their first encounter. JC has a little dog with her named Mo as well. So. The generic female voice of the GPS system scraped the last layer of flesh from the back of JC's neck. She'd traveled 5 states and over 1,000 miles with this woman, and like a bad roommate, it was time to go their separate ways. Luckily, she should be pulling up to her destination at any time. From a national title winning collegiate gymnastics coach to a B&B owner. How weird was that? Weirder still, discovering a maternal aunt she never knew existed. She scarcely remembered her mother, let alone other family. A large wooden sign with a cardinal in the corner announced the Cardinal Point Bed and Breakfast. She turned into the tree-lined lane and made her way up the gravel drive. A 2-story, snow-white Victorian with jet-black shutters came into view. Half of the house was simply adorable. The other half looked like Santa's workshop threw up on it. It was covered top to bottom with holiday decorations. There was tinsel, garland, and inflatables. Wooden cutouts in colorful cellophane wrapped to look like lollipops dotted the yard. Christmas lights were strung, draped, and twirled around anything that didn't move. Scratch that, the train running atop the porch rail had lights attached to it. But the absolute showstopper in this redneck pageant of Yule excess was a giant plastic manger complete with Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus, being prayed over by a kneeling Santa. Out of respect, Santa had removed his cowboy hat. Someone she renowned. At best, she was a bit of a Scrooge. At worst, she made the Grinch look like a holiday party planner. Had she mentioned she was homeless, broke, and unemployed? Definitely a worse kind of year. And why was only half of the house decorated? She parked in the gravel lot next to the Noel side of the house. Mo was glued to the window. It's a lot to take in, isn't it, Pooch? After she clipped the leash onto the dog's collar, they made their way up the walk. Music blared from a docking station on the undecorated side of the wraparound porch. As she rounded the corner, a man wearing faded jeans and a gray sweatshirt stood with his back to her. Head bent, it appeared he was untangling an orange extension cord as the cool December breeze whipped through his black hair. "Hello, I'm JC Steele." No reaction. She took a few cautious steps forward and slipped her hand into her purse to find her pepper spray. She didn't take it out, but she had her fingers securely on the trigger, just in case. He was a stranger, after all. "Sir, hello!" She raised her voice to be heard above the music. "Who are you?" Still no response. She inched closer, fingers tightening on the pepper spray. Mo yipped and yanked at his leash, anxious to greet a new friend. "Hey, sir, can you hear me? I'm JC Steele, the new owner." Nothing. This was ridiculous. She marched up and tapped him on the shoulder. "Hey, buddy, I'm talking to you." He jerked around. "I'm sorry, what?" Deep, dramatic green eyes nearly knocked her off her rant. And that and his striking good looks. Yum. And she rarely did yum. Who had time for yum? He opened his mouth again. "Can I help you?" She remembered why she was ranting in the first place. "I've been trying to get your attention for 5 minutes. Are you deaf?" As a matter of fact, Yes. I'm JC. Wait, what? He dropped the extension cord and stepped over to turn off the music. I am deaf, or mostly deaf. Sure, her cheeks were as red as Rudolph's nose. She stepped back and placed her palm against her forehead. This is an all-time social low. Rock bottom on the politeness scale. First, I bully my well-intentioned lawyer. Now, I've insulted the disabled. Maybe later I can drive by the preschool and tell everyone there's no Santa Claus. And now she was aware that while he probably couldn't hear her, he most definitely could see her rambling like a maniac. I'm so sorry. He shoved his hands into the front pocket of his hoodie. Are you sorry because I'm deaf? One side of his mouth kicked up. Or because you're rude? Was he teasing her? She blew her hair from her eyes and met his grass-green gaze. Both, I guess. Hey, are you reading my lips? She leaned in. You are! What'd I just say? The half-smile morphed into a rakish grin. Apology accepted for the rudeness. You didn't have anything to do with me being deaf. That honor goes to the IED in Afghanistan. I'm Cole Boudreaux, and yes, I read lips. He extended his hand. Rather than take it, she continued to stare. Are you Mr. Boudreaux's son? Yes. You knew my father? Knew? Is he, dead? She wasn't proud of the little thought skittering through her head. If Mr. Boudreaux had died, wouldn't she be the sole owner of the B&B? Inappropriate, she knew, but desperate times and all. Yes, for 7 years. Virgil Coleman Boudreaux has been dead 7 years. Yes and no. His mouth inched up on one side again. I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. My father was Virgil Coleman Boudreaux Jr. He is dead. My grandpa, on the other hand, is the original Virgil Coleman Boudreaux, and he is very much alive. I am Virgil Coleman Boudreaux III. I am not dead, he said flatly. Then his extremely nice mouth spread into an extremely nice smile. I go by Cole for obvious reasons. Fascinating. So where can I find the original Mr. Boudreaux? Grandpa? This time of day, he's probably at the house watching Jeopardy. Cole frowned and scratched the side of his head. He didn't find you on the internet, did he? I told him that was a bad idea. Excuse me? I told him there were plenty of nice ladies his age at the rec center, but okay. He glanced at the ground and followed the bright orange cord to its end. I can give you the address if you really want to go through with this thing. What thing? He shot her a wicked grin over his shoulder. I'm kidding. After a long, uncomfortable pause, he turned to her. I was joking. JC stepped back and crossed her arms. I can see you're enjoying your little, whatever this is, but I'm the new owner of this B&B, and I have a business to attend to. So if you would please tell me where to find Mr. Boudreaux. The man stopped and straightened. The muscles moved across his back as he took a deep breath and turned to face her. You're JC? Winnie's niece? Winnie? Of course. I've only seen her name as Winifred. I'm Nicole Boudreaux you're looking for. I guess we have a lot to talk about. Come on in. I'll make coffee. He disappeared into the house. She hiked her purse higher on her shoulder. I guess we're going inside, Mo. As soon as they entered her aunt's house, she unclipped Mo's leash. He took off after Cole, leaving JC alone in the entrance hall. If the outside of the house was overdone, the inside was downright. Well, if there were decor police, Aunt Winnie would have died in prison. So the next passage I'm going to read, if I can get my pen to come up, is JC has gone to the local rec center. She's worked out, and now she's about to leave, but she's also about to encounter her new best friend, Tammy. So after JC finished her stretch, she gathered her workout bag and made her way to the front of the rec center. Squeals and laughter came from inside the gymnasium across from the fitness room. When she paused to dig for her keys, a sudden movement caught her eye. Stop! She dropped her bag and charged into the gym in time to pluck a little redhead girl out of midair and set her firmly on her feet. Who's in charge here? She scanned the stunned expressions of the little gymnast assembled before her. Well, 9 were stunned. 1 was enraged. Hey, I was doing a back handspring and you messed me up. Small fists slammed onto her black and yellow clad black and yellow leotard-clad hips. She looked like a ticked-off bumblebee. No, I didn't mess you up, but I might have saved your life. There was no way you were making it past your neck. Where's your coach? There wasn't a single adult around. A tiny blonde in a blue polka dot bathing suit that doubled as a leotard raised her hand. Miss Tammy went to the bathroom and she told us not to get on the equipment or tumble until she got back. She shot the bumblebee a closed-lipped smile. Bumblebee stuck her tongue out at Blondie. Stop that, JC stepped between the two. Where's the bathroom? A loud thud jerked her attention to the far end of the gym. A round woman in a Christmas top, black leggings, and tan knockoff ankle boots came coasting into the gym. Her big baby bump was swathed in Rudolph's face, complete with red pom-pom nose in the dead center of the bulge. I swear, this baby is camping on my bladder. All right, girls, line up. Oh, who are you? She tilted her head. Auburn corkscrew curls bounced like swirly Christmas ribbon. JC prepared to blast the woman. Disregard for safety pushed all her hot buttons, since a totally preventable injury ended her Olympic dream and gymnastics career. I'm JC Steele. I'm new in town. Hello, I'm Tammy Patty. Her pudgy little hand flew to her cheek. Oh my word, you're Winnie's niece. Suddenly, JC was smothered in arms, baby, reindeer, and bouncy curls. Tammy hugged her tight. Your aunt was so awesome. We loved her so very much. She released her death grip and glanced from JC to the girls. Her brow furrowed into little grooves of concentration as if she were trying to fit the pieces together. When she tilted her head, her jingle bell earrings clinked. What are you doing here? JC pointed to the bee. I happened to walk by and see this girl attempting a backhand spring without proper technique or a spotter. If I hadn't intervened, you'd be facing an injury lawsuit. Tammy's lip began to quiver. No need to cry. I handled it. No harm, no foul. It's all good. See? She grabbed the bumblebee and put her between the gestating woman and herself. Tammy blinked furiously and finally seemed to master her emotions. She wrapped her arms around her belly. Oh, my cheese and crackers. Thank you, Jesus. Carrie, I did not specifically tell y'all not to tumble or get on the equipment while I was in the bathroom. Bumblebee stared at the ground. Yes, ma'am. Tammy placed a finger under the girl's chin and raised it to look her in the eye. What do you have to say to me? I'm sorry, Miss Tammy. JC was appalled when Tammy wrapped the girl in a hug and told her to go stand with the others. The little rule breaker wasn't being punished. That's it? That's all you're going to do? She could have been seriously injured and needs to be taught a lesson. You're absolutely right, JC. Carrie, come here. The offender stood in front of them. Darling, Tammy said, the reason I asked you to stay off the equipment and not to tumble is because you could be badly hurt. And wouldn't it be a shame if you got injured and couldn't march in the annual Christmas parade? Now, I hope you've learned your lesson. Big crocodile tears shimmered in Carrie's eyes. Yes, ma'am. It's time to go, everyone. She beamed a smile at the girls. Good work today. They all scattered like birdseed on the wind. JC shook her head. As reprimands went, that one stunk. Thank you for your concern and for the helpful advice to make sure Carrie learned her lesson. Mary Beth? JC nearly jumped out of her skin when Tammy screamed, let go of Beth Ann's hair or I will make you two hug for 10 minutes. Y'all go get your baby sister from the toddler room. You have 3 children, you're pregnant, and you coach? How do you have time? Tammy blew a curl from her eyes. Yes, the twins are mine and on the team, plus I have a 19-month-old in childcare, but I'm not the actual coach. Coach Haley moved 6 weeks ago. I was a gymnast in middle school, and since part of the team belongs to me, I will volunteer to help until a new coach could be hired. What level gymnast were you? JC was distracted by something on Tammy's shirt that peeked out every time her hair swayed. Was it more Christmas decorations? She honestly didn't know how the woman could fit one more festive thing on the garment. Level? Oh no, I did recreational gymnastics, Tammy giggled. I wasn't on a team. One of Tammy's twins jogged up with the toddler in her arms. The little girl leaned out of her sister's arms for her mother to hold. Tammy took the child and plopped her on one hip. JC barely noticed the child as she still couldn't figure out what was hiding beneath Tammy's hair. Is that a Fruit Loop on your shirt? Tammy flipped a curl out of the way and plucked the little pink ring from her top. Huh, well look at that. JC watched in horror as Tammy handed the cereal to the baby who popped it into her mouth. The germaphobe in JC fought the urge to perform the Heimlich on the slobbering child. No way could that be healthy. And why were they both laughing like idiots? It was nice to meet you, Tammy, but I need to be going. All right, don't be a stranger. Her clueless yet contagious smile spread like sunshine. JC turned to escape. At the same time, Cole strolled up and draped his arm around Tammy. What are you ladies so happy about? He kissed the top of her head. Woman, if you get any more beautiful, I might have to steal you away from that cousin of mine. Where had he come from? JC supposed she should expect stealth from a former soldier. Oh, Cole, you big old flirt. Rudolph's nose just jiggled as Tammy snickered. I see you met JC. I hope you were nice to her. He rubbed his big hand over the baby's toe pad. Tammy slapped his arm. You know I was nice. When have you ever known me not to be nice? JC observed the byplay between Cole and Tammy, fascinated. One wore her breakfast on her shirt and probably carried an extra 30 pounds. The other was near death, but both seemed perfectly comfortable with themselves and each other. In her world, perfection was all that mattered. People strove for it, fought for it, and some nearly killed themselves for it. She'd lived her whole life on that hamster wheel, and it hadn't bought her 1 ounce of happiness. At least not as much joy as a found Fruit Loop shoved in a baby's mouth.